that's where the oil gets pumped out. So right here, if you look, when I put the bar on, it's the top inside. That's Now this is for when you flip it, so that's not getting oil pumped into it.
Yep.
Anytime you flip the bar though, because the outside one is going to be going to the inside, make sure you blow this out, because sometimes it'll get packed with dirt from being on the outside.
With like an air compressor or something.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
That, yeah. Okay.
Yep, because it'll get packed with sawdust and dirt and debris, and then when you flip it, now that hole's clogged. That's going to restrict. So anytime you flip the bar, what I do is take my air compressor, I blow it right down the track and clean out the bar track too.
Okay.
And then right now the sprocket, you notice if I try to spin it with your finger, you can feel resistance.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
That's because it's greased up. If you ever spin this and it just goes, there's no grease in there.
Okay, which is obviously bad.
Yep.
That's how everything
so that's
breaks.
how you know it's greased up good, is when you spin it, you feel like resistance.
Nice. All right.
So basically, put the bar and chain on, put that on, slide it all the way back.
Yep.
On the chain, make sure you're not backwards on the chain, because you want that little bump in front of the cutter. So this is your cutter tooth.
Okay.
And then you got that little bump in front.
That needs to go in front.
Yep,
Okay.
that's your depth guide. So what that does is that's what actually rides on the wood, and that meters how much of a bite the cutter's going to take out of the wood.
How much is that? Okay.
So if you didn't have this little bump out here, the chain would just be bucking and pulling, and because it'd be too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that meters how much of a bite it takes.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
How much is that?
So make sure the depth guide's out in front of the cutter, because if you put it on backwards, it won't cut good.
Awesome.
And then I go around the sprocket first in the back.
You should be doing classes on this.
Yeah.
Make some extra money.
And then I get it over the front sprocket.
Yep.
And then I'll go back and seat it on the top of the bar, going back. And you can kind of grab the clutch drum and twist it to help drive the chain. So once you get the top on, then I'll hold the bar and I'll get the chain on just in the back, and I'll just pull the bar out till I take up the slack.
Oh, roger that. Okay.
Yeah, and then just leave it there. Now what's important, putting it back on, when you took it off, so that screw you're asking me about, this one here,
Yep.
that's got a little collet on it that moves in and out. So when you turn this screw, you're moving this in or out.
Yep.
Now that sits in this big hole, this one here, and that's why there's one on each side.
Yep.
So you're pushing the bar in or out to take up
the extra slack. Yep.
Yep. So when you take this cover off and move your bar and chain around, you'll notice if I go to put this back on, that pin doesn't line exactly up with that hole.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. So what you do is just glance in there. I can see the pin has to go to the left.
Yep, a little bit. Yep.
What did I do with my screwdriver that I just hit? Oh, it went on the floor, didn't it?
Yeah, you dropped it.
There it is. Yep. All right. So I just put a little bit of light pressure on the cover.
Okay.
And then turn this to the left.
Okay.
Until I feel it kind of fall in. It's all right there, bud.
Nice. Yeah,
so now I know it's that pin is seated in the bar.
Now you're just good for the nuts.
Yep. So now when you put the bar nuts on, we still have to tension the chain because it's super slack.
Yep.
So what I do is you just put these on hand tight. Yep. And what that does is holds the cover in so the pin can't pop out.
Yep.
But you still want to turn this screw to push the bar out, so you don't want these clamped down yet. So I just put that on so it keeps the cover on.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna just
that's how tight you want it.
So
nice and tight, huh?
My rule of thumb on the tension,
okay,
is if you grab the chain from the middle, you should have a little bit of flex.
Okay.
But no more than 3 drive links fully exposed.
3 drive links.
So I've got way more than 3, so I can tighten it up some more.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Oh yeah, man.
So boom, right there. We'll try that. So give it a little tug.
Nice. Everything's looking good.
Give it a little bump more.
Hell yeah, brother.
So that's